くぞジェノサイカッタ
What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo, and today we're going to talk about Nameless, a pretty freaking amazing character. Might not be what some people want him to be, but he is godly. Believe that, guys. Like, when you take a look at this guy's kit and you see everything that he has available to him with the 30% PG rate, the defense increase, which is really great for increasing his tag, the burn and darkness damage increase, which is awesome because he has both those dots, obviously, the immune to burn and darkness, that is amazing, the decreased active skill cooldown, which is really over the top. It allows you to run through your skills more often, the increased active skill damage by 200% to targets affected by darkness. So it's really, really important to do his third skill to opponents. That way you have that increased active skill damage by 200%, the shield that gives him all the extra survivability on top of being a defensive character, and then the heal when he gets below 70%. I mean, his survivability is pretty damn godly, especially with the 3PG that also gives him a heal. And then when you look at his skills, I mean, he's got the huge charge skill, right, that increases damage received by 28% when you just tap it. It also can remove super armor and hyper armor, which is pretty amazing. But also whenever he has it fully charged, he can increase damage by 32% and still remove the hyper armor and super armor. And then the PvP exclusive disables super armor and hyper armor for 5 seconds upon landing the skill, which is pretty OP. It means that your opponents won't be able to use those skills or their hyper armor and super armor for 5 seconds. That is nasty. And then his second skill gives him the hyper armor and the infernal flame, which is awesome. It's also an interrupt skill that's limited to airborne. He gets knocked up in the air. He can easily go into his skills. The third skill gives him blackout or darkness and an increase of defenses by 60%. That's another reason why having the third skill up really quickly is really good, to get that attack based off defense. And then of course apply the darkness so you increase your active skill damage by 200% from his core passive. Now, as far as how you should build this guy, his first imprint stone is actually really godly for him because it does actually increase strike skill damage. And you will find with Nameless, increasing his strike skill damage is actually really, really OP. Now, we're not going to play with it today, but the Idol Kula set is actually quite strong. In fact, very, very strong, similar to Leona on this character. It's a free-to-play set that's always available in the game. It's pretty godly on him. I'm not going to use that set today, but it is pretty freaking sweet. But if you can increase his strike skills, that's really the way to go. So if you have the BS Volume 2 stone that also increases strike skill, that would be godly on him. So you could have a strike stone from the Volume 5 in the first slot, and the diamond slot you could have the strike stone from the Volume 1 BS banner if you have it. If not, you could put the BS Volume 3 that actually increases active skill damage. That would be a really potent one. BS Volume 4 increases critical damage. And I believe, I can't remember, I think this one here actually increases, yeah, decreases enemy defenses. It's not the best stone, to be honest. If you could have one that increases strike, the BS Volume 1 or the BS Volume 3, that would be a better choice. Still a good stone, but that would be a better choice. And then I think this third stone actually probably would be the best on him. And for Nameless, guys, I would highly advise you to give him attack. You can give him increase to defenses if you want. If you want to give him like one of these stones that actually, well, not this one here, but if you want to give him like one of these stones that increases defenses, like this one here, that's fine. You could do that. He does have an attack based off defense. But I find, especially with Dot Explosion, which he has on his default, you're really always better off to go with attack. This is just my personal opinion. If you do put increase to defenses, it will make him a little bit tankier. So that is something to think about. But I think his damage is going to be a bit better if you use all attack stones on him. As far as his moon and star-shaped stones, I would probably give him darkness and burn, probably a mixed blend of darkness and burn in his 4th and 5th slot. And then for the car set, we're actually just going to be running a Kea set on him. Now, this is a free-to-play set that's always available in the game. I could put the Shazura set on him and use that. That was a free-to-play set, but maybe some people weren't playing during the Shazura event, which we just recently had. But I went ahead and just wanted to show you guys, you know, what he can do with the Kea set on him. Now, a thing that's going to be a bit disappointing for a lot of people when it regards Nameless is the fact that he's not the greatest in guild raid. Now, he's okay. He's okay. He's not terrible by any means. But you'll find that, you know, after that run we did with Psychish or BS Ash, you know, we did 900 million at A1, right? That was just nuts. Well, with Nameless, it's not going to be the case. We got a KSA, we got the Show Me option card on him, but he just doesn't break the meter very fast, as I'll show you guys here in a second. Now, we're going to apply the darkness really quick here, and then try to go on our second skill. Hopefully, Geese doesn't interrupt us. so we can get that increased active skill damage by 200%. And we're going to fully charge that thing up. And then we're going to go ahead and hit our default here. Hopefully do some critical hits here. And there you go, guys. And it's not like he's terrible. It's just, you know, it's not as good as someone like Ash. But it's pretty good. Now here's the problem. I'm using his original 3PG. This thing will get interrupted. So Geese is doing the Raging Storm right now, which sucks. And I can't stop it. Now we are immune to darkness. And that's all good and dandy. But, you know, you still can take damage from that ore that's on the ground. There we go. Our skill wasn't ready. There we go. But the thing is, he doesn't break the meter very fast, right? And you're probably wondering, why doesn't he break the meter very fast? Well, it's because he really doesn't do a whole lot of hits compared to someone like Ash. Right? Now, he's got a lot of survivability because of his heal from his core. I mean, that is just OP. Right? But, I mean, he's not doing terrible by any means. I mean, this is lunatic. Right? He's not doing bad at all. But we died, right? And that's the thing, right? Now, if I was using his original 3PG, this would be a lot, or not his original, but his newest 3PG, it would be a lot better because the 3PG wouldn't get interrupted. We could always stop Geese from doing the Raging Storm. But the damage, guys, just isn't as good. And that's because he doesn't break the meter very fast, because he isn't doing that many hits. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. So if we take him into a spider robot here, right? We'll do a quick little comparison between him and Ash, right? Because Ash could do just insane, right? And Ash, I got a Nakane set on him. He's just got one imprint on. They're both built the same. We're not going to use any strikers. And I'll show you guys a couple things. There's a couple things I want you guys to pay attention to while we do this. I want you to look at how many hits they do. And of course, look at the damage that they do as well. All right, so we're going to do that again because the characters were blocking where the hits were showing. We couldn't see exactly how many hits were happening there. So I had to change the type of command system in here. All right, now let's try this. Let's see how much damage we do and how many hits we do with Ash. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 hits, or 10 rounds, and then the third and first skill one more time. And we'll see how much damage we do here. So we did 292 hits, and we did 27,200,000 damage, okay? Now we'll switch in Nameless. We'll bring in Nameless and do a round with him and see what he does. We'll see how many hits he pulls off. Can he beat? Will he beat 292 hits? And how much damage will he do with the KSF? They both have the cooldown cards, which, by the way, I need to change on Nameless because right now he has an option card on him. So we need to change that really quickly here. Yeah, let's go ahead and put another defensive card on him. It don't matter. Let's put that one on. There we go. And we're going to take this off because Ash doesn't have that card on him. He just has his 3PG. I'll go ahead and show you guys that really quick here. He just has one 3PG, so I just want to make it fair, at least in that respect. And remember, Nameless's 3PG just gives him a heal. It doesn't give him some huge attack buff. So let's see how this goes. 292 hits is the beat. All right. 10 rounds, and then he did the third and first skill once again. Let's try it. Come on. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, there we go. There we go. Didn't work out exactly the same, but pretty close, pretty close. You guys will get the drift. $221 hits. 221 hits, but 30 million damage, right? So that's the reason why Ash breaks that meter faster. It's not necessarily because he's stronger than Nameless. I mean, he is in the respect that he does more hits to break the meter in Guild Raid. You need to do a lot of hits to break that meter in Guild Raid, and that's why Ash does so much better, right? That's why. It's not that Nameless is weak. He's not weak at all. In fact, he just did a little bit more damage than our Ash. But Ash just does so many more hits than Nameless, and that's why he can break those meters super, super fast in Guild Raid. It's a big, big advantage when it comes to Guild Raid, but in other game modes, like Time Attack and what have you, Nameless is going to be pretty damn godly because he has a decreased skill cooldown from his core while you got the dot applied, so you can actually run through your skills much faster. It's a lot easier to get good runs in Time Attack, and he's also freaking godly in PvP. Now, something that's pretty amazing about the character is like, say you take him into Deimos base here, right? Take him in Deimos base and you use him. Something you're going to notice about his first skill with the fear, that fear applies to everybody on the screen. Everybody in PvP and PvE. So watch this. We'll go way over here and look at that. They all got feared. Every single one of them. That is crazy. I mean, that is just OP. It's like, it's so broken for PvP that it's not even funny. Ooh. Okay, come on, come on, come on. Look at that. They're all feared. So funny. And come on, come on, come on. Piece of cake. He's only A1, so we can't go very high with him. But it just gives you guys an idea how cool he is. Like, check this out. Right? Now, I do eventually plan on getting his 3PG. But, I mean, I have a selector, but I might be doing some more pulls in there. And if I get lucky and get it, then I want to use that selector for one of the set cars. But Nameless's damage is absolutely nuts, guys. I mean, you saw that a while ago when I compared him to Ash. His damage is absolutely bonkers. It's just that because he doesn't do as many hits as Ash, he just seems like he's weaker in Guild Raid. But in other game modes, he's going to be godly. And he's still going to be really good for Guild Raid. He's still going to be really good. I've seen a guy with Awakened level 40 Nameless on Lunatic hit about 1.5, 1.6 billion. That's still very, very good. That's still really good. It's not as good as Ash, but it's really, really good. It's an amazing damage here. We'll just pick one of those really quick. But I mean, the guy is just built, right? He's got an amazing kit. You take him into League Match, right? And you use him here, right? I mean, he's just A1. But, you know, all these characters, I mean, Leona and Guinness there, they both have a fear, right? Guinness got that counter fear. But Nameless's fear is going to hit them immediately. Immediately, right? Which is bonkers, guys. It's bonkers. Okay. And there we go. There's that fear. Guinness with his second skill got me. He got me. No problem, though. No problem. Guinness' second skill is pretty nasty because he actually can interrupt. So he got me. he's pretty OP, man. He's pretty OP. Guinness is a tricky little bastard because he gives you fear for 2 seconds whenever you attack him. He can be pretty damn tricky. We'll try it one more time and see what we can queue up here. There's Guinness again, man. Guinness, honestly, for me, whenever in PvP, is really one of the most deadliest ones to use. Ramlethal is actually can take him out pretty easy because she also has a 2-second counter fear and a 3-second fear on her second skill. Whereas Nameless has a 3-second fear, but he doesn't have any kind of counter like Saul. I don't want to use my... That damn shield is lasting forever. We're just going to go ahead and hit our 3 PG here. Try to take out Leona here. Leona's... That shield is nuts. And there we go. There we took him out. I knew we would. A little redemption for Nameless there. And that was a level 30 Guinness instead of a level 10 earlier. I mean, he's pretty godly, guys. Honestly, having a 3-second fear, no matter where they are in the screen, and applying fear, that's just nuts. Insane damage, very, very powerful character, really great for time attack as well. And he's going to be amazing also in the Immortal Dungeons because of his shield, because of his heal, because of his survivability, because of the long 3PG. Even if you don't have it, and that's the thing about Nameless. Even if you don't have his newest 3PG, the biggest advantage to having the newest 3PG is the fact that, well, 2 advantages. One is that it will give you the heal, right? It's going to give you that heal. That is really, really nice. And it can give you an extra attack or increase the active skill damage by 4.5% or increase the critical damage. And all those things are really nice. But the other 3PG is extremely long. This 3PG can't be interrupted. So for Guild Raid, having this 3PG will be a necessity. It's really going to help. But are you going to need it? You know, more than likely, you're probably going to be using other characters for Guild Raid, especially against Nightmare Geese. Against a Mega Rugal, Nameless is actually going to do really well, even with his original 3PG. It'd be better with the newest 3PG because it won't get interrupted, but he's still going to do amazing. He's still do really well against Rugal because personally, I think Rugal's a lot easier to take out than Nightmare Geese. And, you know, the original 3PG is just very long. It's going to be really great for the Spider Robot. It's going to be really, and you saw the damage he did against Spider Robot compared to Ash. It's going to be really great in the Immortal Dungeons. It's going to be really great in Demos Base. All of these game modes, the original 3PG is still going to be insanely good for him. That's a big advantage that Nameless kind of has over Ash because he actually has an amazing 3PG already available in the game. So even though he's not a top dog in Guild Raid, he will be a top dog in a lot of the other game modes. You know, PvP, Nameless is, in my opinion, Nameless is pretty much the best character in the game. I mean, really, Ash is the only one that has a chance against him because he does have the immunity to fear, and he also has that critical hit shield, which really helps him. But Nameless's potential in PvP is just, it's top notch. And as far as PvE, it's top notch pretty much except for Guild Raid, right? So depending on where you put your value, what characters you're actually using in the game, might depend on how you feel about Nameless. Personally, he's a top tier character, guys. He's going to create meta change in the green colors. I can tell you that already just from the power levels that he has, all the versatility that it has in his kit, all the survivability, all the damage. Personally, I feel that Nameless is just an absolute god. I mean, this guy is pretty damn ridiculous, and anybody that's going to have this character is going to be very, very happy that they have him. Even at A1, he's still going to be pretty godly. So let me know how y'all feel about Nameless, and I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GMT plus 7 time. The link is in the description below, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See ya.